Well, summer is well and truly over. It is now September. It's raining hard at the time of me filming this video, and it's time to have a look at how the vintage Hoover with its modern tools did cope being used for a month. We'll go through all the cordless and robots, and then we'll have a look at the machine that I've chosen for me to use in September. Here's a stupid one, don't worry. Let's have a look. Yes, hello, my vacuum cleaner and Hoover chums. How are you today? Yes, this vintage cylindrical vacuum cleaner has been pretty decent. Actually, I mean, it has its flaws. Look at how the cable's wound up. I just give up really and just leave it standing however the heck it sees fit. What was quite cool though was these tools, and I think first of all I'm getting away with it because this bit adds a lot of height because I'm using this tool with a Dyson double tapered adapter. It actually makes it quite long. I find these all a bit short when the floor head's there and it's a bit short. But yeah, this floor head works well. It clamps down nicely. It's surprisingly good, especially on a machine like this. It doesn't have an awful lot of airflow. It's very nice indeed. With that floor head out of the way, we can move on to what are the original tools, at least, bar this hose end, although this is a genuine Hoover hose end for porta power. Same two-lug fitment. Yeah, this hose is very nice. It doesn't stretch too much. The machine just follows it along very nicely indeed with its little wheels. So yeah, no real concerns or issues with the tools. I mean, I shouldn't have any concerns or issues. Hoover used these for decades and decades and decades. Yeah, pretty decent indeed. The machine itself has been fine really. It's either been on its bottom like that, rolling along, or if I need height, I stand it up and then the hose just comes out of the top and you get a lot more length. Otherwise, I mean, our nice Electra plug, Volex plug deep down, I think this is very nice. Hasn't been damaged, the cable hasn't been damaged. It's quite a boring month really with such a bulletproof vacuum cleaner that's already got its little dents and scratches. So yeah, it doesn't really matter too much. If we open this front part up, okay, well the inner bag's coming with us, so that's fine. Ooh, we have our original bag seal there, we'll leave that in there. Very clean and tidy in that. All the damage is on the outside, sadly. Yeah, well, some of it's already fallen out already. If we take this out, yeah, there we go. It's got a nice bit of dirt in it. Problem with my daily vacuums is I use so many other vacuums for various things that, yeah, they don't end up picking all of my dirt up, and there's not an awful lot in that massive bag. But again, if it was if I'd used it normally with just this bag, we would be cleaning it all out and it wouldn't be very nice now. So yeah, I'm glad we did that. Here is this is a 40mm waste pipe adapter. So now you know that you pop that into there, you can fudge a bag on and makes it work really nicely, because this machine doesn't have the best airflow when it's a bit clogged up. Having that bag made it perfectly decent. So yeah, considering this lived underneath a storage container in Devon for at least 7 years, it's come up all right. The only real damage is on the top, and it's probably going to get sold because I don't particularly want to keep it. We've got the orange one to go through, which has a better sounding motor, although I think I might take this apart one day and see if we can't get the bearings sorted, because if you remember, sounds like this. Got a bit more airflow back there. But it sounded like that for the entire month with zero issues, so it's obviously not too catastrophic for it. It'll be fine. But yeah, before I sell it, I probably should have a little look at that and try and fix it. So that was this, and it's actually I wish I hadn't taken that bag out now because we need to vacuum out all the cordless machines. But we might use something else like this MV250, which you will see very soon. But we could spoil the spoiler and use it to vacuum out the other cordlesses, because spoiler alert, I'm using a bagless vacuum cleaner for September, and yeah, as much as I like cleaning out machines with other machines, with a bagless it won't work as well. So let's start with the Dreame. My Dreame D10 Plus. I reckon this is the 6th month now we've had this out, and it's been absolutely fine, especially on my laminate. Look, you can see where all the dirt just flies through the bottom and obviously gets a little bit caught on that part. But otherwise, you know, I think did it self-empty yesterday? No, it didn't. So we have some dirt in the bin. Just open that up. Yeah, it doesn't pick up an awful lot each time, but it does pick up some stuff. And again, the filter is going to be pretty grim indeed. So we'll get this cleaned off using my MV250, which you will see very soon. That filter is looking a bit grim indeed. I think we might need to replace that pretty soon, but we'll pop this back together for now, if I can remember which way round it goes. There you go, lovely. So one emptied out bin. Let's see what the state of underneath is like. Ooh, yeah, there's a fair few grim parts here, so we'll get that cleaned off. Indeed. And that is going to do. We're not doing any more than that this month. It will be absolutely fine. It's probably a ton more than any other owner would do to it. So that's cool. We'll pop this back in there. Next thing that we need to do is the dock. It smells. This is one of the issues with having it static being turned on. I mean, I have mine every other run, so that's every other day this will run. And if it's away in the utility room or somewhere, you're not going to notice. But mine sits right next to my desk. Whoa. Oh, there's stuff poking out of it. And that, it's not packed. It's not packed full, but oh, it does smell. This is, I mean, I know people say, oh, bag vacuums shouldn't smell. Well, they do if it's static, and all it does is just pull a little bit of dust up here and there. So we're now going to get on to our spare new bag. Although inside is very, you know, I don't know if you've watched Mr. Vacuum War's recent video on the HEPA or non-HEPA-ness of these cheap bags, but these seem okay. Whether the cheap, nasty ones that I replace it with are the same, I'm not sure, but we'll find out in, well, 5 months now. If I can put this in here, we'll just give this a quick vacuum off. Oh, there's something caught in that. There was something in there, I just heard it rattle up the hose. Wow, fair enough. I think also the problem, it probably has muddled the airflow a little bit, having such a full bag. So we'll pop that in there, and I'm going to need to order myself some more at some point. But my Dreame D10 continues to be a pretty good dream, I have to say. If I had carpet, this wouldn't be the best choice. It's very skimmy and meant for little Chinese homes that don't have carpet. So my laminate gets away with it perfectly fine. It does the job. It just sweeps up the dirt. Deep pile carpet isn't going to be the robot for you. But one done. Let's go have a look at the Vorwerk. As you may have remembered from last month, we're using this as my upstairs robot vacuum because the battery on the Roomba is sadly a bit iffy. And we actually timed this a bit wrong because I had to empty this 2 days ago. It was stuffed full and the machine did throw an error. So this doesn't seem to be able to cope for a whole month quite the same as the Roomba did, which is a little bit of a shame perhaps. Or, you know, maybe upstairs is just extra dirty. Blimey, that's a bit of pig makeup sponge from my daughter. All of her hair and lots of fluff. So, oh, there we go, that was easy. There we go. That side is clean. Shut up. Let's come over to this side. Oh, no. Its side brush is destroyed, really. I don't even think boiling water is going to help it that much. I mean, I might try, but I can't be bothered today. Yeah, let's just lift this out. Oh, yeah. And remove, our brush roll, which seems to hate hair about as much as the Roomba's one did, which isn't great, but again, you're now fighting generational things with these older style robot vacuums. I think the newer ones are a little bit better, especially the ones that have actual anti-hair wrap. Yeah, the ones that aren't, well, they're pretty terrible. And again, if you didn't check this every month, I think you would soon start having a really bad time when it all just clags itself up. Or worse, the hair starts to rip away at the soft plastic of the machine. Then you really are in trouble. So, again, we shall just dust it off with the vintage pneumatic. And that is going to be good enough for another month. Hopefully I won't have to empty it prior to, well, maybe October's vacuum of the month, and we'll see just how round it is. The problem is this errors out and just sits there. It was sat for 3 days before I realised it hadn't actually gone round. Why hadn't it gone round? And then pop this up, and yeah, that was just absolutely packed. And the machine said no. Right, Next up is the Klarpul. Yes, the cordless vacuum cleaner that Klarpul sent to us last month to demonstrate and review. And overall, it's pretty flipping good. I've had no issues with it at all. It's very nice to hold. Having the handle up here gives you a nice length. You get a decent finger control. Look, it's on, you can tell you use it, look, it's on 20%. Because, well, it gets emptied a lot. I have used it a ton. I've also pushed it through a fair few refurb messes and all sorts of stuff that Klarpul probably didn't want me to do. And, well, that is pretty decent, actually. I mean, This filter was worrying me a little bit because look, it's getting a little bit dirty. This is the backside of this filter, but it's washable and I haven't touched it and it still picks up the bits well enough. Oh look. I think I'm going to give it a wash though, just while it looks like this, and a quick swoosh around will fix it all. But yeah, that is fine at the back. This is fine at the back, and well, there's a little bit of smuts in our seal, but nothing really to write home about. And unlike certain other vacuums that I've had, it's not that top heavy, so it doesn't just fall backwards and smash the side of the battery like we have had before. Otherwise, if we open up this sponge filter, it does a fair job at catching all of the schmutz. It certainly doesn't, tank the airflow very quickly. But again, this is going to need a wash because all of the dust is quite impregnated in there. So we're going to give our filters a wash and then I can use it later on in the week. And that will be fine. I would say the day, but it's very much not the weather outside now to hang filters on the washing line. Those days have stopped now, so we're going to have to wash, put in the airing cupboard and wait. I've emptied this a lot, so this isn't a month's worth of dirt. Look, I picked up some burst balloons. That was nice. I do find that the shroud can clog itself up. It's when this blocks that the machine really loses airflow. So yeah, you empty it, you brush it off, look, that's the job. And then I put it back together. So these filters haven't been cleaned like that this month. I've just emptied, tapped, little brush off and left it. And that's been absolutely perfectly fine. Just like that, this thing is pretty decent. I might rinse all this off as well because you know me, if we're going to have a bucket of warm soapy water, we may as well put all of it in. There's no electrical connections running through the bin, so no issues there. So we'll pop that there, that'll do. Let's have a check of the floor head. Our inner hose is still in one piece, which is nice. I don't see any wear on the wheels or the sides, so that's pretty good. If we pop open this part and take our brush roll out, that's not too bad actually. There's a few fine hairs and threads that the anti-hair thing hasn't picked up, but I mean, I'm sure the other day there was a lot more and I was leaving it, ready to show it off today. But it's not bad. I think it just gets to a point where it just builds up and then gets taken off. Builds up, gets taken off. It's not sort of a constant thing. It just works when it's there, when it needs to. These red bristles do help a lot. Klarpul, if you're watching, might try and ask you to put some stiffer bristles in these, especially for homes with carpets rather than hard floors. It does make a difference. It scrabbles a lot more fluff and grit out of the carpet. I don't have a squirty cloth on me this month. We won't bother. That is the inner window, but unlike other cordless vacuums, you can get your whole head in there and clean that out nicely and stop it from getting really gacky and horrible. So yeah, that's not been too bad. It doesn't snowplow like this style of head often doesn't. It's pretty decent. I can see why they used it. It's all right. Even the wand is quite nice. I have to have it like this to store it, otherwise on that dock it's really tall. So yeah, you just take it out, extend it, put it down, and I dock it. Because yeah, with this length that we've just been enjoying, it then makes it quite tall when it docks there and has to come all the way down to there. So all in all, very impressed. Thank you, Klarpul, for sending me this our way. We're going to keep using it though. You know, I'm not just going to use it for a couple of videos and then put it down. No, we're gonna keep using it, see what its limits are, see how well it copes. So yeah, the second month for the Klarpul can begin. And then finally, for the vacuums that I'm using, we have the little Greenote, which I use for cleaning up the kitchen a lot. That is sort of microwave crumbs and toaster crumbs and whatever else crumbs that we need to use it on. And yeah, it's done pretty well too, although there's a bit of dust under that filter. That's a little bit concerning, I guess, although who knows, it seems to be alright. I guess it must have lifted up slightly and I didn't notice, and yeah, some of the dust got under there. It doesn't seem to be blowing any out though. Seems fine. I would say that will do. I think I'm going to wash all these as well because they're getting a little bit grim. Oh, especially this tool. Look, can you see it wearing down? Now this is about the only tool I use from it because it just does what it needs to do. This isn't a powerful machine in that sense. You don't want a massive floor head on it. This is fine for, again, just nipping around. Little bits and bobs. Thank you, Greenote, for sending us this. This lives on my desk. It doesn't charge from my 140 watt gallium nitride charger that I have on my desk. That's too powerful and doesn't go down low enough. I have to charge this from my battery pack now, and then just charge the battery pack up another day. So although it is USB-C, unfortunately, Greenote, you haven't done proper USB-C, have you? You haven't put a PD decoy board in there and set it to 12 volts so that powerful chargers can do it. This relies on little 5 volt 2.1 amp stuff to charge, which, I mean, you'd hope that if Greenote are going to refresh this and put a digital motor in it and faster charging, maybe add a tenner to the price, that might not be a bad shout. But as it is, it's fine. Its battery lasts long enough anyway if you're only picking up something from the side and putting it back down. Pick something up, put it back down. You're not cleaning your entire house with this machine, nor would you want to. But that is it, I think, in terms of... say that, look, the housing's coming apart. I think this got dropped. I think my daughter dropped it when she used it, and it has. It's popped the casing apart just a little bit. I don't think I care about that this month. It'll be fine. So that's all of the vacuums that we've used, all cleaned up now. Let's see what we're going to torture ourselves with for September. The vacuum that I'm going to use for September is in this box. Anybody recognise this box? We are going to be giving the Dreame bagless corded vacuum cleaner a shot and a whole month of use. You know, you can go there. I don't even think I want to change the tools as much as I don't think I'm going to get on with these ones. Go away, get out, blah blah blah. Let's pop this through some paces. Yeah, I don't even think I can stick a new hose on this because this one's all moulded together and a bit thin. But like I said earlier, I have so many other vacuum cleaners that do get used. This probably isn't going to suffer too much. It's certainly why we use the pneumatic NV250 to clean out the cordless machines, because that would not, it wouldn't get on very well with that. And yeah, I mean, hopefully it'll burn out and we can get rid of it. Otherwise, it might have to get passed on. But yeah, we have, oh yeah, there's no parking slot, is there? No parking slot. We just have ourselves a corded bagless machine. I think it's still pretty clean as well from when we last used it. Yeah, that is spotless. I'm not going to put a filter condom on it. We're not going to do any precautions. We're just going to use it like it is. with its short, horrible cable, like so. Yeah! It runs still? The throttle horrible. Yeah, this will be fun enough. This floor head is a whole other level of awful, but I think any other floor head that I put on will be its own level of awful. If I just try and get this single pedal pneumatic floor head off of this bond, I mean it does fit. Whether it's going to be any better, bigger bit, it glides more, but it's wider than the entire vacuum. I mean, I'm not going to say that I may not spot, but I do need. Look at that floor head. You don't get much more of a deep cleaning floor head than that. And luckily, it glides even with the wand pretty upright because I have to use it pretty upright. Oh, this seemed like a good idea a couple of days ago when I thought about it. I'm not so sure now, but we need to use it. It's just been sat since I did the before video, and it has just picked up all of that. And the filter's actually pretty clean, so I don't know how bad it's going to be. A machine like this, its tools are always going to be its biggest, weakest link. Obviously, the rest of it doesn't help either. But I mean, I can get the kids to vacuum. It's small enough for them. I just think we need to use it to see what it might be like. So yeah, I'm going to use this stupid toy vacuum cleaner as my mostly main machine. Again, the Dreame will go around every day and help it significantly. I obviously have other vacuums lying around all the time, so it shouldn't be too bad. It could be quite fun. So what do you think? Have you used the worst vacuum cleaner for your daily month? Let me know down below, but we'll see how destroyed this is. After a month, I have zero faith in that filter doing anything decent at all. We'll find out. You can only go in the bin afterwards. What's the worst that can happen? So there we go. That is 12 vacuums in 12 months. September sorted. I thank you very much for watching. Hope that you have enjoyed, and I and this toy vacuum cleaner will see you soon. Bye bye.